In this lab, we are going to see the clipper and clampers using PN junction diode. So before moving to the experiment, first we will analyze the function generator and CRO. First we will see the function generator. Okay. So function generator, this part is used to adjust the frequency range. That is, the point represents 0.2 hertz, 2 hertz, 20, 200 hertz, 2 kilohertz, 20 kilohertz and up to 2 megahertz. We can increase the frequency from 0.2 to 2 megahertz, so that this function generator is 2 megahertz function generator. We can increase the frequency in course. That is, there is one button. The button is this in this condition. This is in this condition. This represents this, that is frequency. Suppose if it is pressed, this condition, it represents Vp to P, that is peak to peak voltage. Okay, so first we will analyze the frequency. So frequency, here we can adjust the frequency in coarse. Coarse means high and fine means very minute. This represents whether the frequency in hertz or kilohertz or megahertz. Initially it is 2 kilohertz button is selected. That is, we can increase maximum up to 2 kilohertz. That is, I am adjusting here. That is, I am varying the frequency C up to maximum 2. That is, it's 2 kilohertz, but maximum it's 3.1. The same way 2 megahertz. See, max it is in maximum. So 2.8 megahertz. We can reduce. Kilohertz, then hertz. So its starting is, that is fine is also there. When you reduce all, what's the initial frequency? 58.585, that is this hertz. Okay, this is frequency varying part. And here for our experiment, we need only this function. Whether we are going to select sine, that is sine triangular square, right? Triangular square, that is these different waveforms. Everything is DC out. Okay, by selecting this function, first you will increase some frequency. That is some set is 2 kilohertz, right? Okay, so if sine, I had selected for sine. See, in the CRO display is sinusoidal waveform. When I am selecting this, you will get triangular. When I am selecting this, you will get square, high, low. This is a square waveform. Okay, so normally we will do in clipper and clampers with sinusoidal waveform. So and we are taking output, that is function output. That is what function we are going to select. This we are taking output from this end. Now there is another part. If you press this button, it is a peak to peak. In this CRO, in this display, this one is positive peak and this one is negative peak. Positive peak and negative peak. This is amplitude. Peak to peak amplitude. When I see the peak to peak is 10, right? Here from this point to this point, this will be a 10 with multiplication factor. So this is the knob for adjusting the peak to peak. See, I am increasing 11. See, your waveform is also increasing. When I am reducing, your peak to peak also reduce. So approximately I am keeping 10, but due to some internal resistance or some maybe imbalance, we are not getting accurate 10. There may be some error in the function generator. It may be some 11. Okay, right? So we will find out the values. So peak to peak, this is 1, from positive peak to negative peak. Here we will adjust left to right. That is that knob. This is adjusting for left to right. So knob adjusting left to right. So we will keep it in center. And now we will check for peak to peak. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is one, each 1.2, 5.8. So 5.8. What about the voltage? So initially it was 20, 10, 5, 2. Okay, so 5.8 into 2. That is the value that is above 10. So here we had set it is 10.2, but you will get 11.6. There is 11.6, some deviation will be there. Okay, so this is the these are the knobs we are going to use in function generator. Okay, one is for frequency variation, another one is for that is peak to peak. For example, if they ask you to fix a value of peak to peak 12, so you have to press this and you have to adjust this knob. This is for fixing peak to peak. Okay, CRO remains everything the same. Two channels, one channel is on channel Y and this one is on channel X. Two channels are there. Two channels having separate voltage division for voltage multiplication factor, but time multiplication factor is common. See, this is common. Okay, 1 milliseconds, that is a 0.2 milliseconds, that is a 0.5 milliseconds here. Okay, and time voltage division is separate, it is for separate for this and this. This button is ground button up to 0, and for fixing AC or DC, suppose in half wave rectifier after capacitor voltage we have to see this, we have to press this knob and we have to see the voltage, right? Okay, and when the waveform is continuously moving, you have to keep it as an auto mode, then it will be constant, that is for auto mode. And channels, both the channels will, if you want to display both the channels, right, I am not giving any input to this channel, that is channel X, so your output is this is the output for the channel X. Here dual, see what I had fixed, that is channel X only will be in display. And next button, there is no channel X, right, only channel Y will be there. When I am pressing both, right, this is a dual. Suppose if I give any input, it will not that is dual input, that is if we give any, that is for example I am changing and I am giving to this point, see, that is only if I am varying here, but also it's varying, I am varying here, it also it's varying, that is this dual. Okay, that is channel selection, that part is a channel selection. That's only we need, there is no need. Up and down, using this knob we can move from up and down, and using this we can move right and left to right, right, that's all. That is about the CRO. Here I had given the connections, I had fixed it as a peak to peak volt 10, and from that function output it is given to the channel Y, and this is I am selecting sinusoidal waveform. This is sinusoidal waveform for the frequency 814 hertz. 814 hertz. For that frequency, sinusoidal waveform is this. This is the input waveform. Okay, so we can adjust the amplitude for our requirement, right? You can use this, or you can time period adjust like this, right? Based on our requirement, we can take the reading. So this is the this is the function generator and CRO, how we have to take the input, that is get the input from function generator. Okay, thank you.